Throughout my driving experience, I've been mostly driving sedans, which are lower to the ground and usually lighter than most vehicles. But at some points in my life, especially when I was living with my parents, my dad used to own a handful of big SUVs and trucks, so I had to learn how to drive them confidently and safely. Some of these SUVs/trucks included the Toyota Land Cruiser and the Honda Pilot, so if you are nervous to drive one of these huge SUVs or trucks, you're in the right place. Let's dive in. And today, we are driving the 2025 Honda Passport. And this car is not the biggest on the road, but it's not the smallest either. And if you are my viewer from Europe, you would think that this car is a behemoth. And honestly, I think it's a large SUV in my books. It is very close to the size and weight of the Toyota Land Cruiser, and this is actually one of the first things that I wanted to mention, which is heavy weight of these huge SUVs. First of all, it will take much longer to accelerate a vehicle of this size. It will take much longer to stop a vehicle of this weight. And also, it will be less maneuverable in tight spaces and during the turn. So it means that you need to take into account that if you want to accelerate quickly in a car like this, it will take time and you will need to be patient. And also, especially in these circumstances like today, when it's raining, we need to comprehend as well that we'll need to have a longer braking distance. So we'll need to have a better following distance between you and the car in front of you. So let's say you have a corner right here. It means that you have to slow down and take it easy. Take it slowly, take it smoothly. You don't want your car to get unsettled, and it is very easy to do in a big SUV like this. I had some of my friends asking me for an advice when they were about to drive some big SUV or a truck, and the first thing that I always told them is to take everything slowly with caution. As you can see throughout this video, I'm not doing any abrupt motions. My steering input is very smooth. I accelerate with care. And when you are driving these cars in this exact manner, they will reward you. And this Honda Passport is not an exception. Usually, these cars are set up in a way to be smooth and to be very soft. So what you want to do, and we are approaching another corner to demonstrate, is to take a corner smoothly, to take it quietly, so that anyone sitting in the car wouldn't feel like they're getting tossed around in a can. Like this. And the same goes towards braking. If I brake harshly like this, I already feel nauseous. Let's let these people cross safely. And you can again accelerate very smoothly. You will be grateful to yourself, your passengers will be grateful to you, and the car as well. But now let's talk actually about visibility. And it's a pro and a con when it comes to driving a big SUV. You get more visibility because you're sitting higher, you can see more out of your vehicle when it comes to front visibility. As you can see right now, I can see 2-3 cars ahead of me pretty easily, which gives me more time to react based on what I see in front of me. But there's also some downsides when it comes to visibility, driving a huge vehicle like this one. And first one is more blind spots. And if you have taken any driving exam, or you were preparing to take any driving exam, you know that huge commercial trucks have big blind spots, and you are taught to not drive right beside them. You are taught to drive either behind them or in front of them where they can see you. So it is especially important to take care of your blind spots. It means to set up your mirrors correctly to minimize any blind spots. And as you can see right now, in my side mirrors, I only can see about 2 to 3% of my vehicle in my side mirrors. As you know, the best technology you have on you are your eyes and your judgment. So if you're not sure if there's a car in your blind spot, you just take a shoulder check. Maybe the sensor is going to break or is going to be malfunctioning because of the pouring rain, bad weather conditions. You never know. So it's always important to take care of your blind spots. And the next thing which huge SUVs lack in terms of visibility are high belt lines. And if you don't know what it means this line between the window and your door. The closest window you have for you is not a problem because you can see clearly if there's a car on your left or any object on your left. When it comes to the outside window, the furthest away from you, you can't see as much. And usually it's a problem when you're driving right next to a very low object, such as a sports car. So you have to, again, be very, very cautious with your every lane change and make sure there's no one in the next lane on the right or on the left. That's why when I'm driving next to the cars like this or trucks like this, I usually have the same rule, especially if I'm driving in a very low seating car, that I don't want to be right beside them, especially for a long time. Because I know that sometimes their high belt line doesn't allow them just to physically see me. And when you are on the opposite side of this equation, you have to be cautious as well. And the last part of the poor visibility from an SUV of this size, or a truck, doesn't matter, is the fact that in the back, there's also a high belt line. And usually, these back windows are pretty small. And it results in the fact that you tend to think that the objects that are appearing in your back window are much closer than they actually are. And that's why many people who are driving huge SUVs and trucks tend to think that people are tailgating them. And to mitigate that, you just need to learn the patterns. You need to learn how close are people behind you just by going outside, driving cars in different conditions, and be a better judge of how close the car behind you is at any given time. And it will just take time and experience. There's no easy shortcut. So as an example right now, I can see there's a truck right behind me. And it looks like it is much closer than it actually is, and it is tailgating me. But actually, no. It is probably 1 or 2 car lengths away from me, and it's not tailgating me at all. And visibility also becomes a problem when we are dealing with tight maneuvering situations and parking. So let me actually come to a parking lot where we can examine and talk about it a bit more. We're pulling up to one of the McDonald's in this area. And the main issue with parking is that, again, you have low visibility on the sides and on the back. And if you don't have any cameras in your older truck or SUV, it becomes a problem. So let me demonstrate. Assume that there's no cameras on the screen and we are just using our eyes to back up into this spot right there. The issue is there's a high belt line on each of these windows. So if there's a person right here or a kid or a small object, I can't really see it. I mean, I can use my mirrors, but there's still lots of blind spots. I'm not saying it's not doable. It is pretty much very doable, but it will take you a much longer time to make sure there's no one or nothing behind you, to make a successful maneuver like this. And if you are driving a much newer car, such as this Honda Passport, the higher end SUVs have this setup with lots of cameras and angles you can choose from, both side cams, front cams, and back cameras. So you can pretty much see all around you 360 degrees with this top-up view as well. And to become better at this and understanding your vehicle's dimensions, the only thing you can do is to practice on your own. And if you don't know where to start, I have a video just for this occasion. And overall, if you're nervous about your parking, you can take a look at this video in the pop-up banner in the right top corner. And the great thing about newer cars in 2025, probably starting since 2015, is that you have a wide angle camera. So you can properly see what's happening on the right and on the left behind you. And most of these systems also include the rear cross alert, meaning that if a person goes from here to here and crosses your view, it will alert you, and some vehicles will actually stop you from backing up into a person or an object. And the last thing I wanted to point out in this video is the mindset of driving a big SUV or a truck. And I think there's too many people driving a car like this Honda Passport or this Ford F-150 feeling more entitled, driving more aggressively, and being intimidating to other drivers and users of a public road. And I think that's a huge cultural problem and a mindset problem. And in my personal view, and based on the things I've talked about throughout this video, people who are driving cars like this Chevy Silverado, or again this Passport, should be doing the opposite. They should be more cautious, they should be more careful, they should be more understanding and more empathetic to people around them, especially knowing the fact that they have a much better chance of surviving an accident. You don't have to be great at physics to understand that if this car will get into an accident with this Honda Civic, who has better chances of surviving and suffering less injuries after the impact. Since you have a much more dangerous vehicle to anyone else around you, you should be the one that drives much more defensively, that drives much more sensibly and carefully. And let me be straight, I'm not saying that every single person that drives an SUV of this size or a truck drives like a jerk. No. I see lots of people driving, let's say this F-150, and they are actually showing their turn signals properly. They are driving below the speed limit. When it's raining or snowing, they're slowing down. So if you think that buying an SUV like this one or a truck will solve your ego problems, nah, I don't think so. I think if you're using the right mindset, you can actually learn a lot on how to become a much better and safer driver driving one of these. And I'm just more afraid to drive this car quicker and aggressively because I know that I'm a much more hazardous object on the road. I feel more present, I feel more responsible as a driver. Because if you think about it, the driver always takes responsibility for their actions. That's why if you speed and you have 5 people in the car, only the driver will take accountability and will lose their license or get some points on their insurance. You know, just like Uncle Ben said one time, with more weight in your car comes greater responsibility. There's lots of practical and usable reasons to buy a car like this for a family. I mean, you can have 5 people sitting very comfortably in this vehicle for a long, long time. And if you want some off-road capability, this Trail Sport 2025 Honda Passport is more than able to do it. So if you have to drive a big SUV or a truck, just like I did when I was 18, 19 and I was driving my dad's cars and driving my family around, or you're considering to buy a new huge SUV or a truck and you feel nervous, that's good. That's good news because you should be nervous. You should be more careful. You should be more cautious. And hopefully, some of the things I mentioned in this video are helpful and you learned something new. And as always, stay safe out there, keep enjoying the drive, and I'll see you in the next one.